When making observations in eylog, you're able to measure the child's progress against an assessment curriculum. You can either use one of the standard built-in frameworks like Development Matters and EYFS, or create your own framework, customized to your nursery's specific requirements. You must create the custom framework on the web version of eylog, but once it's been enabled, you'll be able to use it on the Practitioner app. Go to System Settings and click on Custom Frameworks to see a list of created frameworks. Click Create in the top right to make a new one. You'll be taken to this page, where you can read a brief summary of the 5 different tiers of frameworks you can create. Each tier adds an additional way to sort your assessment statements. As an example, a 1-tier framework consists simply of a list of statements that you can select and assign assessment levels to while creating an observation. By contrast, this is a 4-tier framework. In this, areas are broken down into aspects, which are made up of sub-aspects, which contain a list of statements. The 5-tier framework adds an extra tier on top of that, called levels, which allows you to create a framework consisting of multiple 4-tier frameworks. Select the type of framework you want to create to bring up this pop-up. Type in the name of the framework, then have a look at the information below about chain-level and nursery-level frameworks. To summarize, chain-level frameworks can be allocated to multiple nurseries under your company, and editing the framework from one nursery will update it for all other allocated nurseries. As a result, only managers with company-wide access can edit this kind of framework. Nursery-level frameworks are only allocated to one nursery, so even if the framework is copied over to other nurseries under the company, changes can only be made to one nursery at a time. Any managers with nursery-level access can edit this kind of framework. From this field, you can assign the framework to nurseries. If you choose a chain-level framework, you'll be able to choose multiple. For nursery-level frameworks, you can only choose one for now. Click Submit to continue. You'll be taken to a page that looks something like this, with a couple of example fields for each tier. You can rename them by hovering over them and clicking the pencil icon. Click on any of these buttons to add new statements, aspects, sub-aspects, or areas. These can be deleted by hovering over them and clicking the bin icon. Once you have enough, you can also reorder them by dragging and dropping. The framework saves itself automatically, but you can click Finish to go back to the list of custom frameworks. In this column, you'll see a list of actions you can perform with your created frameworks. The pencil icon lets you go back and edit the framework further. For chain-level frameworks, this icon lets you allocate the framework to additional nurseries. For nursery-level frameworks, clicking on this icon will allow you to copy the framework over to other nurseries. The frameworks are still separate from each other, however, and editing a copied framework will not update the other copies. Once you have your custom framework set up, you can use them in observations. You can find our guide on adding observations on the Help Center, along with articles and videos on the other features of eylog.